Unveiling the hidden truths of your soul, the mystical shift after awakening. I never expected a single dream to change everything, but that night, everything cracked wide open. I slept, or at least I thought I did. Shadows danced in the corners of my mind. There was this pull, a magnetic energy drawing me deeper into an otherworldly landscape. Vivid colors burst like fireworks. I could feel the warmth of the sun on my skin, taste the salt of the ocean air, and hear the whispers of the trees swaying gently, inviting me in. But when I woke up, the world felt different. The light coming through my window seemed whispery, like it held secrets I had yet to uncover. I stood there, staring at my reflection in the mirror, uncertainty gnawing at my chest. Who was I really? Meditation became my refuge. I would sit cross-legged, eyes shut, breathing in deep. The world around me melted away. I sought solace in the silence, but it often transformed into a cacophony of lingering thoughts and feelings I couldn't shake. Each time, I'd emerge more confused, searching for signs, anything that would point me in the right direction. Nature became my guide. I'd watch a butterfly dance from flower to flower, its delicate wings a stark reminder of the beauty that could emerge from chaos, while a chill would sting my spine at the thought, was I meant to unfold too? The questions haunted me. What if I'm missing something? What if there's a truth just beyond my reach? Mysterious occurrences began cropping up, coins in odd places, the same song playing at strange moments. I felt like I was being nudged, brushed by something unseen. My nights were filled with probing dreams, half-remembered, like passwords to realms I was desperate to unlock. One evening, as the sun kissed the horizon, painting the sky in hues of amber and cerulean, I caught a glimpse of something in the corner of my eye. A shimmer, vibrant and almost like a portal blinking in and out of existence. I turned quickly, hoping to see it clearer, but it was gone. Why did it feel so significant? What did it want to tell me? In that moment, a rush of energy coursed through me, leaving a tingling sensation in its wake. What was about to happen? Was I on the brink of discovering something monumental? My heart raced. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As days turned into weeks, I found myself ensnared in a dance between the mundane and the mystical. I walked the same familiar paths, yet nothing about them felt ordinary anymore. Even the air shimmered with possibility, the breeze whispered stories waiting to be told. Mornings began with an unshakable sense of anticipation, as if each day was an unopened gift wrapped in mystery. That I ventured deeper into nature, feeling the call of the trees, the rustling leaves echoing ancient wisdom. One crisp morning, I decided to hike a hidden trail that wound through an ancient forest. Each step on the damp earth sent ripples of energy through my body, as if the very ground was alive, breathing in sync with my heartbeat. I paused beside a towering oak, its gnarled branches reaching out like hands inviting me to listen. Closing my eyes, I placed my palm against the bark. A vibration surged through me, echoing the whispers of 1,000 stories. The trees, guardians of secrets, seemed to be revealing fragments of a truth I had yet to fully grasp. What lay beneath the layers of my existence? What wisdom lay hidden in the whispers of the wind? Emerging from my reverie, I noticed a figure moving gracefully among the trees, a woman with flowing white hair, clad in earthy tones that blended seamlessly with the forest. Her presence radiated a serene power that drew me in. I approached slowly, unsure if she was an apparition or a guide sent to aid me in my quest. Seekers often forget, she said softly, as if the words were woven into the air itself. The journey is as vital as the destination. Embrace the questions, for they hold the keys to your truth. Her eyes sparkled with the ephemeral glow of understanding. In that moment, I realized that every question I held was part of a greater tapestry. She began to walk, beckoning me to follow, and as we moved deeper into the woods, she shared tales of transformations, of souls ignited by curiosity and nudged by the unseen forces that govern our lives. I felt each story seep deep into my consciousness, awakening something dormant within me. Suddenly, she halted and pointed to a delicate web glistening with morning dew. Just as this spider spins its tapestry, you too are weaving your life story. Each thread of doubt, fear, joy, and wonder contributes to the whole. I felt the weight of those words, stirring an exhilaration that coursed through my veins. Before I could voice my awe, she simply smiled, her eyes deep pools of knowledge. But be careful. While weaving, do not get lost in the strands. Step back and observe. There is beauty in the space between the threads, in the quiet moments of reflection. As she finished speaking, a bird called out, piercing the silence around us. I turned to respond, but when I looked back, she was gone, like a mist evaporating under the sun. Alone, surrounded by the symphony of nature, I felt both exhilarated and unsettled. Had she been real, or was she an embodiment of my own mind, presenting me with vital lessons about the unseen forces at play in my life? Walking back down the trail, I pondered the fabric of my existence. The woman's words echoed repeatedly, her wisdom weaving through my thoughts. Embrace the questions. Each day revealed new signs, like breadcrumbs leading me deeper into a labyrinth of self-discovery. I realized that the need to know everything was perhaps a distraction from the real journey unfolding within and around me. I sat quietly that evening, sunset painting the sky for the last time that day, and closed my eyes to meditate. In the stillness, I posed a question to the universe: what does it mean to truly know oneself amid so many layers of existence? As the darkness enveloped me, I felt that tug again, that energy pulling me towards something profound. What more awaited me just beyond the edge of comprehension? What secrets still lingered in the shadows, waiting for their moment to be unveiled? As dawn broke and golden light poured through my window, I awoke with a renewed sense of purpose. The previous day's reflection lingered in my mind, a soft echo reminding me that the pathway to self-discovery was lined with questions, not answers. I felt compelled to venture into the world, guided by an invisible thread, entangling me with moments yet to unfold. A shift in the air had transformed my surroundings, and the familiar landscape bore a hint of the extraordinary. As I wandered through my neighborhood, each step felt deliberate, vibrant with potential. I found myself drawn to a local park, a serene place where laughter once danced with the leaves. Now, it held a different energy, whispering secrets as gentle as a spring breeze. Finding a quiet bench beneath an ancient willow, I settled in, eyes closed, and surrendered to the rustling leaves above. I invited thoughts to flow unencumbered, watching them drift like clouds across the expansive sky of my mind. Suddenly, the stillness shattered as a child's laughter burst forth, the sweet sound of innocence that brought a smile to my lips. The simplicity of that joy begged for attention, a reminder to find wonder in the ordinary. "Hey there!" shouted the child playfully, skipping toward me with an enthusiasm that could warm the coldest heart. "Why are you sitting all alone?" I opened my eyes, captivated by the child's bright curiosity. "I'm thinking, exploring some ideas," I replied. "Are you lost?" they asked, tilting their head with the sincerity that only a child could possess. "Sometimes when I'm lost, I just close my eyes and let the butterflies guide me. They always know where to go." Intrigued, I responded, "Do you really believe the butterflies can help you?" "Of course," the child exclaimed, eyes glimmering. "They've seen everything and can take you anywhere. All you have to do is follow." With that, they spun around, pretending to be a butterfly, laughter echoing through the park. That I watched the child dance around wildflowers, my spirit lifted by the enchanting innocence that we adults often forget to embrace. A magical realization washed over me: perhaps the journey inward required the same lightness of heart, the same fearless curiosity. The child embodied an understanding that was unfathomable, a mastery of living in the moment without the weight of expectations that burdens the adult mind. As the sun rose higher, I felt compelled to put this new insight into practice. I wandered along a winding path, allowing instinct to guide me. Butterflies flitted nearby, their delicate wings a kaleidoscope of colors. I took a deep breath, inviting wonder to overtake me. What if these creatures were indeed messengers, carrying unseen truths? Just then, I stumbled upon an art installation nestled beneath the trees, a series of intertwined branches cradling artifacts from nature. Each piece stones, feathers, and rusted metal seemed to pulse with echoes of untold stories waiting for recognition. I reached out to touch a smooth stone, its surface cool under my fingertips, as if it held wisdom from the ages. A voice broke through the air, soft yet potent. Each element carries the essence of existence. An elderly man approached, his voice imbued with a timeless resonance. What you touch, you honor. Remember, every moment is sacred, reminding you of the interconnectedness of all things. Do you believe everything has a story? I asked, captivated by the man's aura. Indeed, he nodded, his eyes sparkling with depths of experience. What we perceive as separate entities are merely reflections of ourselves. Engage with what you find, seek the stories hidden within. For even in silence, there may be a symphony of understanding waiting for us to listen. Intrigued by his words, I continued to explore the remnants of life caught in this artistic display. Each item resonated with a frequency that transcended my understanding as I pondered their significance. What stories did they carry? How did they connect to me? To the fabric of the universe? At last, I turned to the man, now feeling the weight of his wisdom. But how do I begin to weave my own story? How do I integrate the lessons learned? He mused, a cryptic smile playing on his lips. It's not just about weaving, it's about allowing the tapestry to unfold naturally. Be present, and let life surprise you. There is meaning in every thread, even those not yet understood. Trust the journey. As he spoke, I could feel the threads of my experiences knitting together, creating depth within my journey. Each encounter a child, an elder reminded me how interconnected our quests truly are. But beneath those fruitful exchanges, a lingering question persisted: was it enough to seek the stories, or was there a deeper essence yet to be revealed? In the park's embrace, with the sun warming my skin and the whispers of nature reverberating in my heart, I pondered the mysteries still ahead. What revelations awaited me in the grand tapestry of existence? What hidden truths lay behind the dance of the butterflies and the wisdom of the stones? As day edged towards dusk, I let these questions beckon me further along my spiritual journey, eager to discover what awaited in the shadows of my soul. The evening light began to cast elongated shadows throughout the park, inviting a certain magic into the air that felt tangible, like an invisible thread weaving through time. My thoughts meandered, stirred by the elder's words, as I observed the world transforming into a twilight painting. The rustling leaves whispered secrets I yearned to decipher, filling me with both excitement and trepidation. I decided to explore further, leaving behind the art installation, drawn by a sense of purpose that thrummed through my veins. The path ahead split into two, one side veiled with dense foliage, while the other opened to a shimmering pond that mirrored the fading hues of the sky. Despite my inclination towards the enchanting sanctuary of water, a peculiar instinct urged me towards the wooded trail, the allure of mystery igniting my curiosity. As I ventured deeper into the woods, the air thickened with the scent of damp earth and moss. Shadows danced playfully in the dim light, and every rustle became an invitation to engage with elements concealed within the thickets. An inexplicable warmth wrapped around me, an energy that felt alive. It was as if the whispers of nature were a language speaking directly to my spirit. Ahead, an unusual sight caught my eye, the remnants of a small cabin, barely visible beneath draping vines and ivy. Its wooden frame stood defiant against time, presenting an aura of forgotten tales waiting to emerge. As I stepped closer, the air shifted, tinged with a blend of nostalgia and reverence. Feeling compelled, I approached the cabin door, which creaked gently as I pushed it open. Inside, sunlight filtered through cracks in the walls, illuminating scattered remnants of another life. Shelves filled with worn books beckoned, each a potential repository of wisdom, a testament to a soul once intertwined with this place. I reached for a book, its spine cracked and fragile, and flipped it open, discovering delicate sketches of animals, plants, and even ethereal symbols, the margins adorned with handwritten notes. Intrigued, I immersed myself in the scattered thoughts captured over the years. Each note was infused with a spirit of wonder, reflections on existence, dreams, and the interconnectedness of all beings. A recurring theme began to emerge. The journey of self-discovery mirrored a dance with the universe, a beautiful yet complex pirouette between the known and unknown. As I flipped through the pages, a phrase caught my eye: to seek is divine, but to listen is the key to unlocking the heart. I closed my eyes, allowing those words to seep into my being, and suddenly, visions of my past flickered before me, a mosaic of moments filled with joy, pain, love, and longing. I realized how often I had sought answers but rarely paused to listen for guidance hidden in my heart. With that revelation stirring within me, I sat down on the weathered floor, resting the book in my lap. I closed my eyes once again, trying to attune myself to the whispers of the cabin, the rustle of leaves outside, and the echo of my own heartbeat. I sought clarity within the tangled threads of my life, yearning to recognize patterns that might reveal where I fit within this grand, intricate design. And then, in the silence, something remarkable happened. A soft glow enveloped the corners of my mind, illuminating a fleeting image, a butterfly, not just any butterfly, but one adorned with colors I had never before witnessed. It fluttered closer, inviting me to follow, an echo of the child's earlier words ringing in my ears. I sensed a luminal connection forming, a pathway opening towards an understanding I had yet to grasp. With a sudden rush of resolve, I understood that seeking stories was only the beginning. I needed to listen to the universe speaking through me, guiding through my pain and joy, urging me to uncover the deeper truths that lay beneath. It was no longer about gathering threads, it was about becoming a part of the tapestry, allowing the universe to weave its magic through me. Stepping outside the cabin, the sun dipped low on the horizon, painting the sky with strokes of crimson and indigo. I inhaled deeply, allowing the serenity to wash over me. What lay in the twilight held an invitation, a beckoning call to further explore not just the world around me but the depths of my own soul. But as I moved forward, a question lingered like the last rays of sunlight: how do I learn to listen deeply enough to uncover the whispers of my own heart? What truths are awaiting me in the folds of existence, waiting for the moment I choose to embrace the silence and simply be? As dusk unfurled its blanket and stars began to sprinkle the heavens, I pondered the journey still ahead, feeling invigorated, yet pondering the enigmas that beckoned me forward into the night. The whispers of the night deepened as I wandered away from the cabin, the rhythmic crunch of leaves underfoot grounding me in the present moment. The world felt alive, yet wrapped in a dreamlike haze. The air was rich with the aroma of earth and night-blooming flowers, wrapping around me like a lover's embrace, reminding me that I too was woven into the fabric of this reality. As I walked under the gentle glow of emerging stars, I noticed glimmers of light among the trees, tiny flickers that beckoned like the soft laughter of loved ones long gone. Fireflies darted playfully through the underbrush, their dance drawing me deeper into the woods, leading me towards a clearing I had yet to discover. It pulsed with an energy that felt alluring, vibrant, and distant yet familiar, calling me to explore further. Upon entering the clearing, I found it alive with a thrum of connectivity that felt palpable. Standing at its center was an ancient tree, grand and gnarled, its branches sprawling like open arms welcoming weary travelers. I approached it, the wisdom soaked into its bark resonating with something deep within me. Instinctively, I placed my hand against the rough surface, feeling its heartbeat, a steady rhythm that matched my own. My palms tingled with the vibrant energy coursing through the tree. Looking up into the twisting canopy, I saw visions play out among the leaves, fragments of past stories weaving together. Each flicker felt like a memory surfacing from the collective unconscious, silhouettes of people who had once shared laughter and sorrow under its branches. I closed my eyes again, surrendering to the moment, yearning to tap into the essence of those who had come before me. Suddenly, the sounds of the forest shifted. The rustling of small creatures hidden away became a symphony, and amidst it, I heard a faint voice resonate, calling me closer. Listen, it beckoned, almost sorrowful yet rich with wisdom. The air shimmered and shifted, filling with sensations both beautiful and poignant. How could I listen without judgment, without the need to rush to comprehend? A question shifted through me like a breeze, and I felt a new awareness blossoming within my soul. What stories does this earth hold? I whispered to the winds, my voice merging with the echoes of the forest. Almost immediately, the ground beneath my feet began to shimmer, and from the depths of the earth, small roots emerged, weaving intricate patterns around and beneath me. They intertwined with my own roots, those of my spirit, my family, my history, reminding me that I was infallibly linked to all that had lived and breathed on this land. That I, in that moment, I felt a rush of understanding transform my trepidation into curiosity. It was a gentle unraveling, pulling back the layers of my own history as well as the stories of those who had walked this path before me. I was not merely a seeker, I was a steward of tales that had long since faded, a vessel for the vibrations that resonated through time. Gradually, I realized the path of self-discovery involved both listening to the voice within and the hum of the world around me. The choice was not just in seeking answers but in embracing the collective truths nestled within the earth's embrace. What wisdom lay hidden within the roots beneath me, waiting for my heart to awaken it? Just then, a rustling drew my attention to the edge of the clearing where shadows clustered. With a cautious heart, I peered into the darkness and saw them, figures cloaked in the forest's night, their faces obscured but their intentions clear. I sensed an invitation, a choice presented to me. Would I welcome this communion with the spirits of the night? An exhilarating mix of fear and anticipation coursed through my veins. The path ahead seemed to diverge into unknown territory, daring me to step beyond the realm of the seen and into the mystery of the unseen. As the figures gestured for me to join them in their circle, a new question emerged from my depths: how do I embrace the forgotten stories that pulse through my being? What hidden truths wait in the shadows, aching for acknowledgement? The night closed in around me, igniting a yearning for exploration and discovery, a call to dive deeper into the lush tapestry of existence woven with threads both delicate and resilient. The figures, still shrouded in shadow, beckoned softly, their movements fluid and harmonious. As I moved closer, curiosity supplanted hesitation, and I discovered each was a reflection of the elements earth, water, fire, and air standing together in balance. They pulsed with a serene energy, beckoning me to join their circle, to partake in a communion that felt both ancient and timeless. Upon entering the circle, the air thickened with electric anticipation. The figures regarded me with an intensity that ignited a flame within. "You seek what lies hidden," the figure of air whispered, its voice soaring like a breeze through the leaves. "But know that to uncover these truths, you must embrace the guideposts that nature has laid before you." In that moment, I felt an exhilarating rush of energy envelop me as the figure of earth shifted closer, its presence grounding me. The stories matter not just for remembrance, but for understanding the heartbeat of existence itself, it said, its tone earthy and deep like the roots of the great tree that had cradled my spirit moments ago. My connection to the land surged, and with it came a flood of unrecognized stories echoing through my veins. The figure of water flowed closer, shimmering gently under the starlight, its voice a soothing melody. "You must dive deep to discover your hidden wellsprings of truth. What remains submerged beneath your conscious thoughts, waiting for the tides of your awareness to release them?" I surrendered to the depth of these words, recognizing a yearning within myself, a longing to understand what resided just outside my perception. Before I could form a response, the figure of fire danced forward, ablaze with passion and illumination. "Ignite the spark of inquiry within your heart. Embrace that which stirs fear, it is a compass pointing toward your profoundest revelations." A warmth radiated from its presence, igniting questions I had long held close. They flickered alive like the flames that promised transformation. As I stood among these elemental spirits, a deeper knowing unfurled within me. The intricate web of existence extended beyond my individual story. Each life intertwined with the others, echoing the truths of countless souls who had endured joy and suffering, love and loss. I realized that the collective human experience held the keys to understanding my own struggle, illuminating the path before me. The figures began to sway in unison, their voices merging into a harmonious chorus that resonated with the rhythm of the universe. I felt the pulse of existence synchronizing with my own heartbeat, becoming one with the energies that surrounded me. It was both liberating and humbling, awakening a deeper layer of my consciousness. What was I learning from this interconnected dance of souls? Suddenly, the air shimmered and pulsated with a vision, I saw fleeting images of my ancestors' faces etched with wisdom and experience, sharing their joys and sorrows, their lessons reverberating across time. I saw moments where their struggles birthed resilience and hope. Tears filled my eyes as the warmth washed over me. I was both mourning their trials and celebrating their triumphs, a tapestry woven through generations, yet within these beautiful revelations lay a nagging question: what of my own story? What was the next chapter to be written in the profound annals of my soul? How could I unlock the dormant truths that awaited my embrace, gently urging me to explore and awaken to my authentic self? In this whirlpool of connection, I sensed that lingering thread still awaited discovery, their potential glowing with fiery brilliance. The elemental spirits filled the void with their guiding energy. Seek the heart of the hidden truths. Embrace your fear, and let it ignite your path forward. Suddenly, a new awareness crept in, an echoing thought hanging between the spirits and me. How do I balance the ancient stories I've yet to learn with the authentic path I'm forging now? How do these intertwining destinies shape the person I am called to become? As I stood there, poised on the edge of illumination and uncertainty, the night grew deeper, and my spirit tingled with the promise of revelations yet to come. Each flicker of light, every rustling of leaves, whispered of a journey still unfolding, inviting me to delve even deeper into the sacred mystery of existence. As the moon climbed higher in the sky, casting a silver glow over the scene, I remained enveloped by the gentle hum of the elemental figures. Their presence felt alive and breathing, a reminder of the unbreakable bond between my journey and the universe's eternal rhythm. In that moment, I realized that they were not merely guides, they were manifestations of my own essence, reflecting the powers and struggles woven into the fabric of my being. The figure of air, having momentarily receded, glided forward once more. Every lesson carries a whisper, a call to action. It spoke softly, drawing my attention back to the mysteries that remain just beyond my grasp. I could feel the breeze around me shifting, a promise of new encounters waiting just beyond the veil. An urge sparked within me, igniting a desire not only to discover what lay hidden but to also actively participate in the unfolding of my own mythos. Suddenly, a flash of luminescence danced across my vision, startling me. From the shadows emerged a new figure, its form ethereal and fluid, indicative of the depths I had yet to explore. It was cloaked in an array of vivid colors mingling with the surrounding darkness, oscillating and shifting with an almost playful energy. This figure, a goddess of transformation, exuded an aura that resonated with possibilities and untamed potentials. "Welcome, seeker of truths," she intoned, her voice a melody that wrapped around my consciousness like tendrils of warm mist. "I am the catalyst of evolution, the keeper of the phoenix flame that rises from each cycle of suffering and renewal." Each word she spoke reverberated through me, stirring echoes of times when I had experienced both pain and rebirth. As she moved gracefully into the circle, I felt an overwhelming sense of validation wash over me. The goddess beckoned, inviting me to share the depths of my turmoil and triumph. "What do you carry within the burdens that shackle your spirit? What dreams have faded, longing for recognition?" Her probing gaze penetrated the barriers I had erected within. I hesitated, grappling with the weight of unspoken fears and unfulfilled aspirations. I find myself torn between the past and the possibilities I yearn to explore. The stories of my ancestors envelop me in wisdom yet bind me with expectations. How can I forge a path that honors their legacy while embracing my own authentic journey? The goddess smiled gently, unfurling her arms wide. "You are not bound by their narratives, but rather intertwined with their essence. Embrace the flickering shadows of legacy as puzzle pieces, shaping the mosaic of your existence. Each time you acknowledge their experiences, you thread a new understanding into your own story, a tapestry rich with the hues of collective spirit, individuality, and transformation." The realization began to seep into my core. My ancestry was not a weight, but a tapestry inviting me to weave my own colors into its threads. I felt a surge of inspiration, connected to the past but free to carve out my own destiny. Would I dare to embrace that freedom? Would I honor the wisdom imparted by those who came before while still pursuing my unique path? As the goddess and I stood in silence, I marveled at the potential of the untold secrets I still held close to my heart. In that stillness, the flickering flame of intention ignited within me, illuminating the dense fog of uncertainty. What had I hidden away, out of fear or doubt, that could ignite my transformation into a truer expression of self? Suddenly, a cascade of images flooded my mind, revealing shadows of deeper truths yet to be acknowledged, passions suppressed, relationships neglected, and fears unchallenged. Each image felt like a whisper of urgency, clamoring for recognition, demanding to be woven into the symphony of my becoming. Trembling with realization, I knew that the hidden truths awaited me at the intersection of courage and vulnerability. The elemental spirits, witnessing this pivotal moment, began to sway in synchronization, their energy cascading over me like a gentle waterfall. You are the keeper of your own flame, the figure of fire proclaimed, enveloping me in warmth. With each ember you uncover, you shall illuminate the path for others who walk in shadows of their own. As I breathed deeply, seeking to ground myself in the wisdom that was unfolding, profound questions surfaced. How do I ignite the flame of transformation within, allowing it to illuminate all that I have hidden? What is it that I most fear revealing, and how can this fear guide me toward growth and self-discovery? What would my journey look like if I embraced my authentic voice with all its doubts and hopes? With these inquiries swirling around me, I felt the night air pulse with vitality, filled with an invitation to unfold my true self. Each breath became a reminder of the delicate balance of the infinite dance of existence, beckoning me to step out of the shadows and into the light. As dawn approached, heralding a new beginning, I prepared to delve deeper, aware that each truth uncovered would lead to a new layer of understanding and awakening, ever urging me to confront not just what was hidden but what was potentially yet to be realized. As the first light of dawn broke through the horizon, casting a warm glow across the landscape, I felt a stirring within me, a call to explore the expanse of both the external world and the inner chambers of my soul. The goddess of transformation lingered, an ever-present reminder that with change came the opportunity for growth. What will you uncover today, seeker? She whispered, her eyes gleaming with the fire of possibility. With cautious determination, I stepped toward the edges of a lush forest that lay before me, its towering trees whispering secrets in the morning breeze. Each step I took felt deliberate, as if I were entering a sacred green sanctuary where the veil between the known and unknown grew thin. Here, every rustle of leaves and chirp of birds seemed to carry messages meant only for me. My senses heightened, I began to notice not just the beauty surrounding me but the threads interwoven within it. At the heart of the forest, I came upon a clearing where the sunlight poured in like liquid gold, illuminating a circle of ancient stones. They stood resolute, each etched with symbols I did not recognize, yet felt oddly familiar. I approached them with reverence, feeling the weight of time and wisdom encapsulated within their forms. Faint echoes of voices past filled the air, a chorus of thoughts that danced around me as if asking to be heard. Kneeling before the stones, I closed my eyes and took in the sound and essence of each symbol. Images flickered in my Minda face, a familiar laugh, moments of joy braided with sorrow. I felt the pulse of my ancestors around me, their journeys intertwining with my own. What truths would you have me unveil? I asked aloud, an offering to the air, the stones, and beyond that in that sacred moment, a low rumble resonated through the earth beneath me, and the figure of earth appeared, sturdy and nurturing. You seek answers, but answers are found in the dance between question and intention, she affirmed, her voice reminiscent of the soil after rain. Dig deeper, dear child, uncover not just the truths that lie above, but those buried under layers of doubt and fear. I closed my eyes again, this time focusing inward, digging through the layers accumulated over time, fears I had allowed to shape my identity, ambitions I had sidelined out of practicality, and dreams I had allowed to dim in the face of reality. The echoes of the ancestors mixed with my thoughts, creating a tapestry of resilience spooled with threads of tragedy and triumph. As I sat in contemplation, a single feather floated down, landing softly beside me. It was vibrant and iridescent, its hues shifting between green and blue, reminiscent of the ocean depths. It felt like a gift, yet I also recognized it as a prompt, a token perhaps from the spirit of air, urging me to embrace my voice in the world. Will you allow your words to take flight, soaring even when fear tries to ground you? The question lingered in the air, echoing like a gentle reminder of the resilience I held within. Drawing strength from the feather, I recalled the importance of expression of art, poetry, and connection and how they serve as instruments for healing. What stories lay silent within me, What melodies awaited the chance to be sung? The thought sent a shiver of anticipation up my spine. As I opened my eyes, the forest was alive with possibility. The lighting was changing, a kaleidoscope of colors bursting through the leaves as the sun continued its ascent. It illuminated not only the clearing but, metaphorically, the contours of my path ahead. It urged me forward. The stories of the heart must be told, a voice reminded me, this time emerging as a whisper from the stones themselves. With new resolve, I stood and brushed the earth from my knees. The shadows of my past felt lighter, transformed by the journey so far. Yet, I knew I had much more to uncover. What if I dared to chronicle my experiences, not shying away from the messy, imperfect truths? What if every word I spoke could connect someone else to their own hidden flame of transformation, as I turned away from the clearing, my heart swelled with renewed purpose and questions. Where am I being called to share my voice? What realms of creativity still await in shadowed corners of my soul? Am I brave enough to navigate the uncertain waters of vulnerability that accompany true self-discovery? The answers hung just beyond reach, like glimmers of sunlight caught in the thick canopy above. With each step I took, I felt the echo of those questions in my heart resonating with every beat, urging me to remain open to the unfolding adventure ahead. The journey had only just begun, and I embraced the uncertainty with anticipation. The path into the forest twisted and turned, revealing new colors and scents with each step. A mix of wildflowers burst forth alongside the intricate roots of trees, each bloom a testament to resilience amidst their intertwined struggles. I walked with a sense of kinship with nature, aware that nothing existed in solitude. Every element supported the others in harmonious cacophony. As I ventured further, the sounds of the forest morphed, becoming a symphony of whispers. Listen closely, they seemed to say, and I paused, closing my eyes to absorb the melody. There was rhythm in the rustling leaves, a melody in the bubbling brooks threading through the underbrush. I felt called to lean into that symphony, to find my own voice among them, yet a stirring inside reminded me of a deeper question: what does it mean to truly listen? It was then, as if summoned by my musings, that I encountered an elderly figure standing near a gnarled tree, its trunk bent but resolute. She appeared woven from the very shadows and light of the forest, her hair cascading like silver leaves intertwined with the breeze. Her presence felt both grounding and ethereal, profound yet approachable. "Ah, the seeker of truths," she said, her voice soft like the wind that rustled through the canopy. "You have come to understand the stories that reside within, yet each tale requires an audiencia heart that is willing to listen." She gestured toward the old tree, its roots sprawling like the veins of the earth. "What do you see?" she inquired, watching me closely. That I stepped closer, examining the tree's intricate lines and scars. "It bears marks from seasons past, struggles against storms, yet it stands strong," I replied, sensing there was more to grasp. "Exactly," she replied, her eyes shimmering with wisdom. "In its resilience lies an unspoken narrative, a testament of survival. This tree does not shy away from the storms, it embraces their lessons." Her words ignited something within me, a flicker of understanding. "But if I share my truth, what if it doesn't resonate? What if it isn't understood?" "The truth isn't diminished by the ears that hear it," the figure responded, each word deliberate. "Your story, like the trees, is as much about growth through adversity as it is about its essence. Confidence in vulnerability is a seed that needs nurturing. Have faith in the sharing, for you may ignite another's flame." I marveled at her insight, feeling the weight of uncertainty lift slightly from my shoulders. Yet as I pondered my voice, I found myself drawn to a glimmering light that danced between the trees, something alive, almost beckoning. The old woman observed my distraction with a soft smile. "Follow it if you wish. There are lessons in the light as much as there are in the shadows." Guided by an unseen force, I stepped forth into an illuminated glen. Ethereal creatures flitted about, tiny lights darting like fireflies, illuminating the space with a soft glow. They molded and twisted, crafting shapes that resonated deeply in my heart: love, loss, ambition, harmony. Each form carried a fragment of experience, waiting to be deciphered. Captivated, I reached out, and as if sensing my intention, one creature hovered before me. It shimmered with vivid greens and deep blues, much like the feather I had found earlier. "What do you seek?" it whispered, flaring bright under the incandescence of the sun. "I seek clarity, a deeper understanding of my journey," I answered, my voice a mixture of wonder and apprehension. "Clarity often requires facing the unseen," it replied, pulsating gently. "What shadows have you avoided? What melodies have you silenced to fit the mold of expectation?" The questions danced around me, urging reflection. Faces of people I had brushed against in my life surfaced, those I had disappointed, those who had instilled doubt, and, alarmingly, those expectations I imposed upon myself. They hovered like smoke wisps, both haunting and familiar, whispering truths yet untold. "To embrace your light," the creature continued, "you must first acknowledge your shadows. Which truths linger in the corners of your heart, unseen but felt?" As the creature's words settled in, I felt an ache and a yearning intertwine. Were these the burdens I carried? I took a deep breath, remembering the importance of acknowledging all facets of my story, illuminating even the most afraid corners. The truth of past experiences begged to be spoken, to be transformed into art, but still, the cycle of thought spun. What would that honesty require of me? Would I have to confront those fears, not just to share my journey but to live it authentically, even under scrutiny? Would the act of sharing free me or bind me? The warm light flickered and danced with laughter, wrapping around me like a cloak of promise. And before I could voice my uncertainties, the glen around me began to shimmer with heartbeat energy, pulsing life into every leaf and blade of grass. From the center of this flickering realm, I felt the weight of potential. An unyielding question lingered in the air, echoing with hope. When was the last time I asked myself where my voice truly wanted to go? And so, I stood amidst that mystical light, cradling the whisperings of shadows and the call of my innate truth, eager, yet trembling at the thought of what lay ahead. Would I dare to explore those hidden truths? With the dawn's first light spilling gently across the landscape, I stood at the edge of the forest, cradling the weight of my revelations. The luminous creatures had vanished, yet their essence lingered, echoing the promise of clarity and exploration. I felt a deep stirring within me, the yearning to venture forth not just as a seeker but as a bearer of truths long buried in the depths of my spirit. That I began walking, each step resonating with newfound intention. The whispers of the earth guided me, the songs of birds overhead providing a backdrop to my thoughts. I no longer felt the weight of uncertainty. Instead, a pulse of excitement thrummed through me, urging me to reclaim my voice and share the stories that resided within. My experiences, both joyful and painful, were threads woven into a broader tapestry, waiting for acknowledgement and expression. Once I had feared the shadows, but now I embraced them. Doubts and insecurities transformed into stepping stones, illuminating paths I had been reluctant to navigate. How liberating it felt to realize that vulnerability held the power to connect, to spark understanding among others who, like me, navigated the labyrinth of their own hidden truths. Each scar, each joy, was a testament to resilience, an invitation for others to step into the light of authenticity with me. As I wandered deeper into the day, I found myself in a familiar park, where laughter once mingled with the breeze. The fountain bubbled with life, recognizing my spirit's rebirth. I approached it and took a seat on a sun-warmed bench, allowing the serenity to wash over me like an embrace. I observed children playing, their laughter piercing through the air, a symphony of innocence and joy that ignited the very essence of life. In that moment, something remarkable happened. The world seemed to still, as if eager to witness my awakening. An epiphany washed over me, ringing clear. The journey of discovery was not solely for myself, it needed to be shared with the collective. I realized how each of us threads in this intricate tapestry of existence held the power to uplift one another through our stories, our songs, our truths. What if I became a catalyst for others to embrace their own voices? What if my unearthing could inspire the unearthing of countless others? A soft breeze ruffled my hair, and in it, I heard the whispers of all those I had encountered on my journey: the wise woman, the firefly, the goddess of transformation. Each had gifted me insight, and now that gift ignited a desire to share, to illuminate the shadows for others as they had for me. I began to write, to weave words on the page that encapsulated the myriad journeys of humanity, connecting all the threads of experience into a magnificent tapestry of life. the ink flowed as the stories tumbled forth from my heart, tales of fear and triumph, love and sorrow, each bearing witness to the beautiful mosaic of existence. I expressed the lessons learned and the wisdom discovered through listening not just to my own heart but to the rhythm that intertwined us all. I realized that in sharing our truth, we become mirrors, reflecting the beauty and complexity of the lives around us. Weeks turned into months, and as I embraced the unfolding of each day, I noticed how the act of sharing transformed my life and the lives of those around me. I engaged in conversations filled with authenticity, where fears were met with understanding and spirituality blended seamlessly with everyday life. Greater connections blossomed, communities formed, and slowly, we began to cultivate a sanctuary of vulnerability, a space where each person felt seen, heard, and valued. The stories shared enveloped us like a warm hug. In acknowledging our narratives, we became not just individuals but a collectivity, a choir of souls singing their truths in harmony. I watched as healing unfolded. Wounds that were once hidden began to surface, and in their exposure, they found solace. My journey had transcended the self, it ignited a movement toward unity and acceptance, a reminder that our journeys, while unique, resonated deeply with one another. Reflecting on my year, I marveled at the depth of transformation within me. I had woven my life's story into a tapestry so vibrantly colored with love, connection, and purpose. Buried truths had emerged, revealing themselves not as burdens but as beautiful energy woven into the fabric of our existence. With each new dawn, I rejoiced in the simple satisfaction of being alive, surrounded by the echoes of shared experiences and connected stories. I understood that the journey of self-discovery was never finished. It ebbed and flowed like the rising tide, each wave a call to dive deeper into the vast ocean of existence. Standing once again on the brink of the forest, I felt that magnetic energy beckoning me to venture into its depths, inviting me to meet myself anew. And so, I stepped forward, ready to embrace each of life's moments, the light and the shadow, knowing that within every experience lay the potential for awakening, for connection, and for transformation. That in sharing my truth, I discovered an undeniable reality. We are all threads in this vast tapestry of existence, intricately woven together, and in our unyielding courage to reveal ourselves, we ignite the flame of understanding, unearthing the profound truth that in our interconnectedness lies our greatest strength. And so, I smiled, my heart full, knowing deeply that the journey at last was the destination.